Hello, everybody, and welcome to Jacob in Between, where we talk about the in-betweens of fashion, what have you, right? They don't want us to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway because the brands, the corporate brands, want you to just give them the money, no questions asked. But we ask because they're not the queen of us. They're not the boss of us. We're the boss of them because without our money, those companies wouldn't work. So there's a little bit of a mix-up, entanglement going on right now in the fashion world. We're going to be talking about Bottega Veneta. We're going to be talking about Izzadin Alaya. We're going to be talking about Raf Simons, Calvin Klein. How are all of these brands connected? They're connected by two men. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already here on the tubes. Thumb up this video if you're liking the content. And be sure to watch me every Saturday because I live stream every Saturday. And check out the chats. Here they are. They appear. Tickle, tickle, tickle. The little tickle, tickle, tickle. Tickle, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're chatting and we're talking about, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Peter Moulier or Pieter Moulier? And basically, I got here news reported by Fashion United saying that Peter or Pieter Moulier, or let's just call him Peter to facilitate the cringe of me pronouncing his name wrongly. So I do apologize, Peter, if I pronounce your name wrongly, if I butchered it. But Peter worked alongside, okay, got to follow the lines here. He worked alongside Raf Simons since the early 2000s. He worked with him while Raf was working at Jill Sander, Dior, and Calvin Klein. And Peter got his own moment in the spotlight finally last February when he was appointed the creative director of Alaya. Peter describes this position as equaling winning the lottery. Now, we know that Alaya passed away a short while ago. Moulier left the PVH subsidiary Calvin Klein in 2018 following Simons' departure and subsequently took time off from the industry. He didn't even know if he would ever be coming back to the industry. Now, you see how... And you might think, like, who is this Peter Moulier? You know, you don't hear these names just, like, bouncing off of everybody's mouth usually. But you do know Alaya if you follow design. Now, he's come out of the shadows from behind Raf Simons and has come into his own right, an artistic director, and he is now the artistic director of Alaya. He has a boyfriend, though. And this is where things get interesting. Guess who his boyfriend is? His boyfriend is Matthew Blazy, or Blazy, or Blazy, or Blaze. No, it's Blazy. I just call him Blazy. Matthew Blazy, who was just appointed the new artistic director of Bottega Veneta. Daniel Lee just left Bottega Veneta. Daniel did not say if he quit or if he was fired. Bottega Veneta / Kering Group did not say if they fired him or if he left. They left it open, which led to a lot of speculation and people speculating that, you know, saying that allegedly that they've heard news internal from Bottega Veneta that some people have allegedly said that allegedly Daniel Lee allegedly used the N-word in meetings and was like super inappropriate allegedly, and so that's why he was allegedly taken down. But just a couple of days later, already they got Mr. Matthew Blazy pushing into the spotlight at Bottega Veneta. Matthew being the boyfriend of Peter, who just got appointed director of Alaya, who used to work for Raf Simons. Matthew, as reported by The Guardian, you see how the plot thickens? It's fascinating. It's like a telenovela, you guys. Enjoy the juicy soup. Matthew is the latest behind-the-scenes fashion designer to land a top job at a luxury brand. Okay. Now, he was waiting in the wings of Bottega Veneta. Listen to this. This is some next-level Shakespearean cringe shit right here. because he was waiting in the wings at Bottega Veneta since joining Bottega Veneta last year. Does this mean, are we implying, or are we being led to believe that Kering Group slash Bodega Veneta, Bodega Veneta a New Bodega, has been planning on ditching Daniel Lee since a year, slowly pushing in their new protege, Mr. Blasi? We don't know, but it is a little bit sketchy how The Guardian formulated this text, might I say. After waiting in the wings at Bodega Veneta since joining last year, he has been announced as the new creative director. The appointment, effective immediately, follows news last week that English designer Daniel Lee had quit in the middle of a hugely successful run and 10-year turnaround at Bodega Veneta. Now, if you're not working in the fashion industry, you might not know Blasi's name so well. Bush, to be a little bit Irish here, Bush, it is said that he has extensive experience, graduate of La Cambre School of Art and Design in Brussels, and a protege of none other, drum roll please, than Raf Simons himself. Wait a minute. Who was working under Raf Simons for forever? Oh, yeah, that's right. Blasi's boyfriend, Peter. It all stays in the family, you guys. You don't none of us stand a chance at landing any good job in any of the fashion worlds because we don't got the connections. We did not sleep with the right people. We do not live with the right people, because fashion, there is no passion for fashion. There is only good old vitamin B and vitamin D in some cases, if you know what I mean. Nepotism. Much. So, the protege of Raf Simons, for whom he worked on Simons' own label and at Calvin Klein, Blasi went on to work with Phoebe Philo at Celine, where he overlapped with Daniel Lee, the allegedly racist Daniel Lee. He may not be used to the limelight, but Blasi has first-hand experience of the pressures of the top job. Now, he used to work, he headed up Maison Margiela's ready-to-wear and artisanal line. Suzy Menkes, none other than Suzy Menkes, who also has a little role to play in this telenovela. Yes, Suzy Menkes is kind of the good fairy godmother. She, in 2014, revealed his name at Marta Margiela and said, she's quoted to have said, "You can't keep such talent under wraps. The person behind the Margiela Creations ready-to-wear artisanal line is Matthew Blasi." And so The Guardian then says that Blasi's partner, Peter or Pieter Mulier, is the longtime right-hand man of Raf Simons and recently appointed creative director of Alaïa, following the same career trajectory. So The Guardian says, it was once standard practice for fashion bosses to seek out the starriest name they could find to fill a vacant creative director post and then give free rein to reinvent the house. But businesses are increasingly looking in-house when the time comes to begin a new chapter. That's what Chanel did with Virginie Viard, for sure. In this case, it's not that innocent. The Guardian, don't make it sound that innocent, because looking in how, yeah, you hired somebody already a year before, letting them learn how the brand works, and then 1 year later, poop, all of a sudden Lee is gone, and poop, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? This other dude, Blasi, is in. And interestingly enough, similar thing happened to Peter at Alaïa, because listen to what happened to Peter. After Calvin Klein, now we're back to Fashion United. After Calvin Klein, Peter says he had a fashion burnout and no longer felt inspired. The fashion house Alaïa, which belongs to Swiss luxury group Richemont, gave him the chance to step out of Simmons' shadow and into the creative spotlight. As first step in his journey. Oh my God. Can we go a day without using that freaking word, the journey? Like, seriously, I have the feeling that Purse on Fleek cast a curse on all of us. She's like the Wicked Witch of the North, and she cast the curse of the journey on all of us, and we're like cursed to go on this endless journey. It is our personal hell. The fashion journey, her Birkin journey, and our just journey. Anyway, Peter is also going on a journey. So, right. So, as the first step in his journey, Moulier asked industry outsiders what they knew about Alaïa. His family and friends knew little about the brand, which made him a fan of Alaïa since he was 18. Ask himself what direction he wanted to take with the fashion house. So, should he apply his own vision, or should he look at it more as a work of art, as Azzedine Alaïa did? He decided to follow in the founder's footsteps while communicating Alaïa's work to people unfamiliar with it, including in particular a younger demographic. Quoted to have said, Peter says, "I see my job as looking after the house, and I don't think I'm important to the whole story. The name is much more important," Moulier said at Fashion Talks. The road to becoming creative director. Alaïa called Moulier a year before he was appointed. A year before Peter was appointed director of Alaïa, he was already called to work there. A year before his boyfriend was appointed director of Bottega Veneta, he was already called to work there. You see what I mean? So the Guardian reporting about the fact that, oh yeah, brands are taking people who were already working for the brand as like the newcomers to work as a... No, it was all planned out. I mean, that's at least how it smells to me. It seems like a repetition of the same format, the same imprint, the same plan over and over and over again. You just got to have the right person to put you in that position, make it look super in the moment. This person is working here, doing a low-key, stay under the radar for a year, and then all of a sudden, but you know, the stars are aligning, everything is being pushed in, the mechanism is being pushed into place, all the gears are being manipulated into position, and then when the time is right, we're going to ditch the other Oompa Loompa, and you're going to be bloop, at the top. And it's all going to look like it was very organic. We didn't just hire you after the other one left or the other one was fired. Peter's journey is the same as Matthew's journey in two different brands and their boyfriends. And they, girl, come on. How many coincidences until we call this a pattern? Okay, so he was appointed the design. Okay, so Alaïa called Moulier a year before he was appointed the designer director. That gave Moulier time to do research and really think about the role. So then he started buying the clothes from the 70s, like 80s, just to kind of study the essence of Alaïa. He was like used up that year to prepare himself for the role, which is commendable. I love a man who's dedicated to his art and cause, if you know what I mean. New chapter at Alaïa. Okay, so Simmons and Moulier, who arrived at Calvin Klein in New York from the French couture house Dior in Paris, were met with success in America. But there were drawbacks. Moulier said, "I was disgusted by the quantity of products we were vomiting out constantly, 16 times a year. At some point, I started asking myself, who buys all this?" At Alaïa, Moulier doesn't have to do 16 collections a year. He only has to do 2, and he's free to be an artist. Which, again, he's saying he was disgusted by the fact that he was doing 16 collections a year. That was fast fashion. That wasn't noble fashion anymore. Looking at you, Chanel, with your 10 plus collections a year. Let's just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, bottom line is, I would love to know what really went down. I do not have enough truthful information, truthful receipts to be able to tell you guys, here's what had really happened with Daniel Lee leaving. Did he leave? Did he quit? Was he fired? Did he say the racist things that allegedly they say that he allegedly said or not? Was that the real reason why he's gone and now Matthew's coming in? But if Matthew was already there a year before, doesn't it seem a little sneaky and suspicious to you, as if like they were already planning out to put Matthew in that position? To me, it's just way too Shakespearean to be just a coincidence. What say you? What say you? Hot Mama Smoke says, yes, I made the live. Hello, sweetie. Welcome to the live. The journey is giving me a hernia. Louis says, there was a podcast with Miss Fame, the drag queen, and was describing how she enters the fashion world and was all about who she knew. She basically had to kiss everybody's ass so she could be in. Yes, exactly. And lucky that they wanted her to kiss their ass, because that's another thing in the fashion world. If they don't want you, you can kiss as much as you want, honey. They're just not going to let you. So there also has to be more than just selling your soul to the devil. The devil needs to want to have your soul first. Otherwise, there's no way. That's the fashion world. It's a particular type of hell. Very particular type of hell. Robert says the industry is rotten. Take shot every time he says journey, says MM. Right? Jack says, what happened is what has always had happened in the fashion industry. Nepotism, lies, idiot people, and PR. Pritch, Jack, pritch. Letty says, there's a very specific reason why the term journey has been thrown everywhere in the fashion industry. It seems that it was almost a memo sent from the marketing psychology department. My Letty, aren't we enjoying our sip of Chianti today? Jacob, I really want to know, why does Chanel do so many collections per year? When did they start this? Olival asks. They started, okay, so already in the 80s, they started doing the cruise collection. So they had their spring, summer, fall, winter, pret-a-porter, spring, summer, fall, winter, haute couture, that's 4. Then they started doing the pre-collections. So that's 6. Then they started the cruise, that's 7. Then Carl added Métier d'Art, that's 8. Then they started doing the Neige collection, the snow collection, it's a little capsule collection, that's 9. Then they started doing the beach collection, that's 10. And then from time to time they do a capsule collection like they did with that travesty of a shenanigan of a Oompa Loompa. What's his name? Pharrell Williams. That was like 11. So they started doing all of this little by little, Olival. They kept adding. Every so often, every couple of years, as the company grows, they add another collection. And why? Money. Just to earn more money. To push profits even more and more. But it's a losing battle, you guys, because at a certain point, as I said, I got this vest, Métier d'Art collection, Chateau de Dame 2021. I got this when it came out in June. I'm filming this video in November. 5 months since it came out. The collection is already gone from the Chanel website. You can't even, it's like it never existed. Because since June, they've already had 3 other collections come to the store. So it's like, it's ridiculous. And so people just already, it's kind of like the brand is biting its own foot, because the brand is like literally telling its own customers to forget about it. If you don't buy it immediately, you forget about it. In 1 month time, the new collection is coming anyway. So you didn't get the piece you wanted from this collection. Who cares? There's a new collection. So it kind of like doesn't even make you really yearn for certain pieces, unless, I don't know, you want to pre-order them like I did with this thing. I saw it on the runway. I said, I want this. After I saw it on the runway, 6 months later, it was in the store. You know, it took 6 months for it to get produced, and then it got produced, and I'm lucky. I could have maybe gotten it a little bit smaller. It is huge, but I'm loving swimming in my little Chanel blanket vest. So I mean, this thing is just so beautifully made. With its little chain buttons. Check this out. It has its little chain. Anyway, so yeah, Penelope says it looks great on you. Thank you so much, Penelope. Oh my God, imagine having the Dustbag Resell Lady as a guest. Iconic says Jizzes. Oh, I would love to. Come by anytime. Stephanie says, hi everyone. I've been binging Netflix lately, but I'm here. Hope you're all doing great. Well, thank you for letting go of Netflix for, you know, a little more original content. You want a real soap opera? Listen to what's going down in the fashion world. Well, anyway, guys, this was. Will you stand up so we can see the full picture of your vest? Well, right now I'm zoomed in, so you can't really see. But you can see my full. You can see me wearing the full vest in different outfits on my Instagram profile. You know, I've been wearing it since June, so there's a lot of me total looks with the vest, different looks. I also wore it to the presentation of the cruise collection just a week or two ago. Love this piece to bits. Happy Saturday, Jacob, looking great. Thank you so much, DLB. So you guys, I do love that vest, says Hot Mama Smokes. Thank you so much, sweetie. Oh, Laine Carter says, or Leanne, I wanted to work in fashion from 12 years old. After 1 year at Parsons, I knew there was no way I could work with these people for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's a toxic environment. Toxicity on a level that, like, you can't. I'm glad that you also are sharing your experiences with us, because I don't want to, you know, people, you know, because otherwise they're going to be like, oh, Jacob, you're just so bitter. You're so bitter. I mean, am I bitter? Maybe. But, you know, being bitter is kind of healthy, because to a certain degree, it also helps you protect yourself so that you don't fall into the same traps over and over again. Because being bitter also equals being disillusioned in many ways. So my bitterness is never that kind of ratchet bitterness. It's very self-ironic. I can laugh about it. I can laugh about the industry now because, you know, I know how it works, and I'm like, you can't win them. Join them or laugh about them, because that's the bottom line, really. If you start taking all of this too seriously, you lost in life, because life is a big fat joke, and the joke's on you, on me, on all of us. It's life who always plays the jokes on us. That's the bottom line. Laugh a little, don't take it too seriously. It's just fashion after all. Love you all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Bye.